today's news.
Speaker's home, and aide says a suspect is in custody. Elon Musk takes charge.
Twitter will probably be very different a week from now from the Twitter we know today.
Concern on the parched Mississippi River.
This is irreplaceable. We have got to keep commerce moving.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan with the CBS World News Roundup. We begin with word this morning of a violent break-in at the San Francisco home of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. CBS's Stephen Portnoy tells us her husband Paul was roughed up.
The Speaker's office says the 82-year-old investor was violently assaulted after a break-in. Paul Pelosi is being hospitalized and is expected to make a full recovery. A spokesman says the assailant is in custody and the motive for the attack is under investigation. As she is second in line to the presidency, the House Speaker is protected around the clock by Capitol Police. But aides say Nancy Pelosi was not home in San Francisco at the time of the attack.
The bird is freed. With that message in a tweet, the richest person in the world, Elon Musk, suggests he's closed the deal to take control of Twitter. Here's CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti.
Musk has now apparently taken over the Twitterverse in a deal valued at $44 billion.
He's clear that he's going to take it in a different direction.
Brent Thill is a technology analyst at Jefferies. He says the immediate firings of top executives, as reported by the Associated Press, would be part of those changes.
He was clear that he didn't align with the board or the senior management team and that he believed the company was poorly run.
Musk tweeted a message to advertisers saying in part, "The reason I acquired Twitter is because it is important to the future of civilization to have a common digital town square." He added, "Twitter obviously cannot become a free-for-all hellscape where anything could be said with no consequences."
The only way the financial health continues is advertising. Every advertiser I speak to is running from this platform.
Well, CBS's Nancy Cordes has the latest on the intensifying midterm campaign that will decide control of Congress.
With 11 days to go before the midterm elections, Republicans are hammering the president on the economy.
Every single thing they touch turns to garbage. Inflation out of control.
In Syracuse, President Biden argued the GOP has no plan for the economy.
My Republican friends in Congress seem to be hoping for a recession, many of them.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was overheard warning President Biden about a critical battle in the Georgia Senate race.
Schumer saying off mic, quote, "The state where we're going downhill is Georgia. It's hard to believe that they will go with Herschel Walker." But he says early turnout there is huge. Nevada's Supreme Court has ordered a stop to the hand count of mail-in ballots that just got started in one county, calling it illegal. On Capitol Hill, CBS's Scott McFarlane reports the committee investigating the Capitol attack wants additional information.
The January 6th committee has its sights set on the Secret Service, featured prominently during former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony earlier this year.
The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm.
Engel has been called to testify, as has the unnamed driver of the presidential vehicle.
The sentence is more than 7 years in prison for a Tennessee man who dragged a police officer into the Capitol attack mob. Cosper Head pleaded guilty to assaulting Officer Michael Fanone. Now to Texas, CBS's Janet Shamlian tells us a public meeting brought calls for the ouster of the state police chief over the response to the Uvalde school massacre.
Angry families of Uvalde victims demanding the resignation of DPS Director Steve McCraw.
If you're a man of your word, you'll resign.
McCraw previously said he'd step down if any of his officers had culpability in the botched response. One trooper, Juan Maldonado, was fired last week for his inaction, and others are under investigation. McCraw was defiant.
DPS as an institution did not fail the community, plain and simple.
Arizona's Attorney General will not enforce a near-total ban on abortions until next year, allowing clinics to resume procedures. The government says consumer prices rose 6.2% in September from a year ago, the same rate as in August. 4 minutes after the hour. This hour's new...
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.